Every billionaire you know built their fortune in the same way. Not through decades of grinding, not through slow, steady patience, but through a narrow window of time that most people missed completely. Here's the truth Machiavelli would tell you. Fortune doesn't wait. She appears for a moment, offers her hand, and if you hesitate, she's gone forever. And when she's gone, no amount of hard work will bring her back. Think about it. The internet boom, a 2-year window in the late 90s. The people who moved fast became billionaires. The people who waited became employees of those billionaires. The real estate crash of 2008, another 2-year window. While everyone panicked, a few bold strategists bought everything. Today they own empires. The cautious lost everything and never recovered. Cryptocurrency, a 3-year window from 2017 to 2020. Early movers turned thousands into millions. Late movers are still waiting for the right time that will never come again. Most people spend their lives looking for the perfect moment. But Machiavelli knew the truth. There is no perfect moment. There are only windows, and windows close. Right now, as you're watching this, a window is opening. AI, automation, the restructuring of entire industries. This isn't theory, it's happening. And in 2 years, this window will be shut. The winners will be decided. The fortunes will be made. And you'll either be one of them, or you'll be watching from the outside, wondering why you hesitated. Today, you're learning the 8 principles of opportunity windows. How to see them before others do. How to move when everyone else freezes. And how to build wealth in 2 years that most people can't build in 20. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My window is now. Let's begin. Principle 1. Windows don't announce themselves. The first principle Machiavelli would teach you is this. Opportunity windows are invisible to most people until it's too late. You won't get an email saying, your fortune-building window opens tomorrow. You won't see a billboard announcing, this is your chance. Windows don't work that way. They appear quietly, disguised as risk, uncertainty, or chaos. That's why the masses miss them. They're waiting for clarity. They're waiting for proof. They're waiting for the moment when everyone agrees it's safe. But by the time everyone agrees, the window is already closing. Think about every major wealth transfer in history. The people who got rich saw something others couldn't see. They recognized patterns before they became obvious. They moved when the world looked uncertain. In the late 90s, most people thought the internet was a fad. But Bezos saw a window. He saw that e-commerce would eventually dominate retail. He didn't wait for proof. He moved while everyone doubted. In 2008, while banks collapsed and people panicked, a few investors saw a window. Real estate prices crashed. Everyone was selling, but the strategic few were buying. They recognized that panic creates opportunity. The pattern is always the same. Confusion opens windows. Clarity closes them. By the time something is obvious to everyone, the early movers have already captured it. Machiavelli understood this in politics. He wrote that the prince who waits for perfect conditions will never act. Because perfect conditions don't exist. The prince must move in uncertainty, guided by vision, not by consensus. The same applies to wealth. If you're waiting until you're sure, you're guaranteeing you'll be late. And late means you've already lost. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I see what others miss. Principle 2. Every window has an expiration date. The second principle, opportunity windows don't stay open forever. They have expiration dates, and once they close, they never reopen the same way. This is what separates the wealthy from the broke. The wealthy understand urgency. They know that hesitation is the most expensive mistake. The broke think they have time. They tell themselves, I'll start next year. I'll move when I'm more prepared. But next year the window is shut. And preparation without action is just procrastination with a better excuse. Look at every industry that's been disrupted. There was a moment, a narrow window, when anyone could have entered and dominated. But that moment passed. When YouTube launched in 2005, anyone could have started a channel and built an audience. the first movers became millionaires. Today, the platform is saturated, the window closed. When Uber disrupted taxis, there was a 3-year window where similar apps could compete. That window is now shut. Uber and Lyft own the market. New competitors can't break in. When Bitcoin was $100, there was a window. When it hit $1,000, the window was closing. When it reached $60,000, the early window was gone forever. Yes, new opportunities exist in crypto, but the billionaire-making window for Bitcoin closed years ago. Machiavelli wrote about this in Warfare. He said, "The general who strikes when the enemy is weak wins easily. The general who waits until the enemy is strong struggles endlessly." Timing isn't everything. It's the only thing. In wealth, the principle is identical. Strike when the window is open. Hesitate, and you'll spend decades fighting for scraps in a closed market. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I act before the window closes. Principle 3. Windows reward speed over skill. The third principle, when a window opens, speed beats skill every single time. Most people think they need to master something before they can profit from it. They want to be experts. They want to have all the answers. But by the time they feel ready, the opportunity is gone. The wealthy understand that when a window opens, you don't need to be the best. You just need to be first. First to market, first to act, first to claim the territory. Because once you're first, you have time to improve. But if you're late, no amount of skill will help you catch up. Think about Facebook. When it launched, it wasn't the best social network. MySpace was bigger. Friendster existed. But Facebook moved fast. They captured college students, then expanded. By the time competitors tried to catch up, it was over. Speed won. Amazon wasn't the best online retailer when it started. There were competitors with better websites, better logistics. But Bezos moved fast. He captured market share, built infrastructure, and created a network effect. Now Amazon is untouchable. Speed won. Machiavelli would say this is the nature of power. The prince who seizes the throne quickly can consolidate power over time. The prince who waits for the perfect moment never seizes anything, because the throne doesn't wait for you to be ready. In opportunity windows, the same rule applies. You don't wait until you're skilled. You move fast, learn as you go, and improve while you're already inside. Because being inside an open window with average skills beats being outside with perfect skills. The market doesn't reward the best. It rewards the first. And when the window closes, first is the only position that mattered. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Speed is my advantage. Principle 4. Most people see windows after they close. The fourth principle, most people only recognize opportunity windows in hindsight. They look back and say, I should have bought Bitcoin in 2012, or I should have started a YouTube channel in 2010, or I should have invested in real estate in 2009. But they never see it when it's happening. They only see it after it's over. Why? Because humans are wired for pattern recognition. They need proof before they believe. They need consensus before they move. But proof and consensus only arrive after the window is closing. When the internet was new, people said, this will never replace physical stores. When Bitcoin appeared, people said, this is fake money. When AI started advancing, people said, this is just hype. In every case, the masses waited for proof. And by the time proof arrived, the window was shut. Machiavelli understood this about human nature. He wrote that people believe what they see, not what they're told. So if you want to be rich, you can't wait to see. You have to act on vision, not on proof. The wealthy see patterns before they become trends. They recognize windows while they're still open. They move based on logic, probability, and strategic thinking, not on social proof. This is why studying history matters. Every opportunity window follows the same structure. Disruption, confusion, early movers capture value, proof emerges, late movers rush in, window closes. If you understand this pattern, you can recognize windows while they're still open. Right now, AI is following this exact pattern. Disruption is happening. Confusion is everywhere. Early movers are capturing value. Proof is starting to emerge, and soon the window will close. The question is, will you move now, or will you look back in 2 years and say, I should have? Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I act on vision, not proof. Principle 5. Windows open during chaos. The fifth principle, opportunity windows always open during chaos, uncertainty, and fear. This is counterintuitive. Most people think opportunity comes during stability. They wait for the economy to be strong, for the market to be clear, for conditions to be perfect. But that's exactly when windows are closed. Windows open when everything is uncertain, when people are panicking, when the future looks unclear, because chaos is when assets are mispriced, when competition is scared, and when bold moves create massive leverage. Every major fortune was built during chaos. Rockefeller built his empire during the chaotic oil boom when no one knew how the industry would develop. Carnegie built his during the uncertain railroad expansion. The tech billionaires built theirs during the confusing dot-com era. The 2008 financial crisis, the biggest wealth transfer in modern history. While most people panicked and sold, a few strategic investors bought everything at rock-bottom prices. Those investors are now billionaires. Machiavelli wrote that the prince must be ready to act when fortune creates turmoil, because turmoil is when power changes hands. The weak lose their grip. The bold seize control. In wealth, this means you can't wait for things to calm down. Calm means the window is closed. You have to train yourself to see chaos as opportunity. When others panic, you position. When others sell, you buy. When others retreat, you advance. Right now, industries are in chaos. AI is disrupting jobs. Remote work is reshaping cities. Attention is fragmenting across platforms. This chaos terrifies most people. But to the strategic few, this chaos is the window. The question isn't whether the chaos will pass. It's whether you'll act while it's still here. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Chaos is my opportunity. Principle 6. You don't need permission to enter. The sixth principle. Opportunity windows don't require permission. You don't wait to be invited. You don't ask if you're qualified. You just move. Most people trap themselves by seeking validation. They want someone to tell them, yes, now is the time. Yes, you're ready. Yes, you should do this. But no one will tell you that, because the people who could tell you are already inside the window, and they don't want competition. The wealthy understand that opportunity windows are seized, not granted. You don't apply. You don't wait for approval. You see the opening and you take it. When Bezos started Amazon, he didn't ask the retail industry for permission. He just started. When Musk entered the car industry, legacy automakers didn't invite him. He forced his way in. When YouTube creators built audiences, traditional media didn't approve. They just uploaded. Machiavelli would say this is the essence of power. The prince doesn't wait for the throne to be offered. He takes it. The moment you wait for permission, you've already submitted to someone else's control. In opportunity windows, the same rule applies. If you're waiting for a sign, for validation, for someone to tell you it's okay, you're guaranteeing you'll miss it. Because windows don't wait for the timid. They reward the bold who move without asking. Right now, you don't need permission to start a business. You don't need permission to build an audience. You don't need permission to invest. The window is open. The only question is whether you have the courage to step through it. Because the world doesn't owe you an invitation. It rewards those who invite themselves. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I don't need permission. Principle 7. The window is always smaller than you think. The seventh principle, every opportunity window is smaller than people realize. What feels like years is actually months. What feels like months is actually weeks. This is the cruelest truth about opportunity. By the time you recognize it, most of the window has already passed. You think you have time, but you don't. You think you can wait a little longer, but you can't. The internet boom? People think it lasted a decade. It didn't. The real wealth-building window was 2 years, from 1998 to 2000. After that, the market crashed and consolidated. The winners were already decided. The real estate crash? People think you could buy cheap houses for years. You couldn't. The real window was 18 months, from late 2008 to early 2010. After that, prices started rising and institutional investors bought everything. Cryptocurrency? People think the window was long. It wasn't. The life-changing window for Bitcoin was from 2012 to 2017. After that, you could still make money, but you couldn't turn $1,000 into $10 million anymore. Machiavelli wrote that time is the enemy of the prince. Every day you delay is a day your enemies grow stronger. Every week you hesitate is a week your opportunity shrinks. In wealth, this means you can't afford to think about it for months. You can't afford to research more for years. Because while you're thinking, the window is closing. And when it shuts, no amount of analysis will help you. The window you see right now, AI, automation, industry disruption, it's smaller than you think. It feels like it will last years. It won't. It will last months, maybe 2 years at most. And if you're not moving now, you're already late. Drop this affirmation in the comments. The window is now. Principle 8. Missing a window. Costs you a decade. The 8th and final principle. When you miss an opportunity window, you don't just lose that chance, you lose 10 years. Because once a window closes, the market consolidates. The early movers build moats. They create network effects, brand loyalty, and infrastructure advantages. And now, if you want to compete, you're not just late. You're fighting an uphill battle that will take a decade to overcome, if you ever do. Think about social media. If you started a platform today to compete with Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, how long would it take to catch up? A decade? 2 decades? Never? The window closed. The winners are untouchable. Think about e-commerce. If you tried to build a competitor to Amazon today, how much time and capital would you need? Billions of dollars, a decade of losses, and even then, you'd probably fail. The window closed. This is why missing windows is so devastating. It's not just about that one opportunity. It's about the compounding effect. The person who entered the window early has been building, growing, and compounding for years. The person who waited is still at zero, trying to catch up to a moving target. Machiavelli would say this is the nature of power. Once a ruler consolidates control, it becomes nearly impossible to dislodge them. The same applies to markets. Once early movers consolidate, they become nearly impossible to displace. So when you see a window opening, understand what's at stake. It's not just that opportunity, it's the next 10 years of your life. Move now, and you're positioning yourself ahead of the masses. Hesitate, and you're committing to a decade of struggle. The window is open, the clock is ticking, and in 2 years, you'll either be inside or you'll be spending the next decade wishing you had moved. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I move before it's too late. Now that you understand these 8 principles, the question is simple. What are you going to do with them? You can ignore this. You can tell yourself you'll move later. You can convince yourself that you still have time. And in 2 years, you'll be watching others live the life you were too afraid to claim. Or you can act right now, today. Pick one opportunity window that's open right now. AI, content creation, remote work, automation. Whatever it is, stop analyzing and start moving, because the window won't wait for you to feel ready. Machiavelli said fortune favors the bold, but boldness without action is just fantasy. Real boldness is making the move when everyone else is frozen. Real boldness is stepping through the window while it's still open. Here's your action plan. Identify the window. What industry, what trend, what shift is happening right now that you can capitalize on? Move within 48 hours. Don't wait weeks. Don't wait months. Pick one action and execute it today. Commit fully. Half steps don't work in opportunity windows. You're either in or you're out. The window is open. Fortune is offering her hand. The question is, will you take it or will you hesitate and watch someone else claim what could have been yours. Every fortune was built in a window, not over decades, in a narrow, brief, fleeting moment when the bold moved and the cautious waited. If this video opened your eyes to the opportunities around you right now, hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel for more Machiavellian strategies on wealth, power, and timing. And share this video with someone who's been waiting too long. Drop a comment below. Which window are you going to enter? And what's your first move? Remember, the window is open, but it won't stay that way. Move now, strike hard, and let speed carry you to the wealth hesitation will never build. Fortune belongs to the bold. Make sure that's you.